Hey guys, it's Adam. Welcome to Do You Watch Anime, a show where I sit down with a guest every week and ask them, Do you watch anime? And we go from there. And today, joining me is voice actor in such anime as Kaiju number 8, Demon Slayer, Kimi Todoke, and so much more. Landon McDonald, how are you today?
Well, doing pretty well. How about you?
Good. So, do you watch anime?
Ooh, I do. I've been known to watch an anime or two for sure in my
so,
day.
so how did you originally get into watching anime?
Originally, let's see. As a kid, I was your standard '90s kid, so of course a lot of Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, most especially. Um, Maximilian Pegasus, I think,
Heck
probably had
yeah.
a big impact on me as a kid. The well-dressed, flamboyant villain. I'm like, oh, I'd like to play those someday.
Oh, I love it. So, what are some of your favorite anime?
Ooh, gosh. I mean, it's kind of like saying your favorite movie, Citizen Kane, but Cowboy Bebop is definitely one of the gold standards in terms of English dubs, especially.
hmm
Let me see. One of my other favorites is a show called Bakano
Okay,
that
yep.
came out, I think, in like the mid 2000s.
Yep.
A real classic, and I
hmm
think maybe the best English dub of all time.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack too. Oh my gosh, that opening,
Oh,
so
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
So good. I love it. So, going from like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, where did you like kind of like, oh, I'm going to watch anime? Cuz sometimes, um people, as kids we grow up and we don't think that, Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon is anime, but it is. Where did you go like, okay, I'm going to watch like, I don't know, Dragon Ball or something like that?
I was gonna say, as a kid, you don't really differentiate that much.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, that's just one of the cartoons I watch.
Mhm.
But yeah, as I got older, I was exposed to the Toonami block,
Mhm.
Cartoon Network, like a lot of my peers. And yeah, that was I was kind of off to the races at that point. That's how I saw Bebop and Outlaw Star and Inuyasha and a lot of stuff for the first time. That was my primary exposure.
Yeah.
Because I guess I'm in that weird situation where I was kind of at the very end of the Suncoast era, the super overpriced VHS tapes,
Yep.
and then like the Toonami block where you could actually you could see the stuff for free. Well, I
Mhm.
mean your parents are paying for cable, but you're seeing it for free,
Yeah.
relatively speaking.
Yeah, I love that. So, what's a show that you could watch over and over and over again and not get sick of?
Oh man, I would say yeah, Bakano's up there for sure because it's
Yeah.
only 16 episodes. Sorry, this is
Yeah,
going to turn into a
perfect.
Bakano advertisement.
No, that's perfectly fine.
But yeah, I can definitely watch that over and over again and see
Mhm.
new things every time. And yeah, that's oh, I got to shout out Brian Massey who plays Lad Russo. Yeah, what a
Yeah.
wonderful performance. That is
Oh my
just
god.
fantastic.
So good.
One of the best. What else? What else? Oh, I'm really happy Monster finally got put on Netflix.
Yes. So
That's a
good.
real classic. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. It literally hooked me from episode 1. So good.
It is so darn good. It's some of these shows they have a reputation for a reason. It's
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, no, they really are that good.
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
up. Um
Let me see. Full Metal Alchemist for sure. Both the OG and Brotherhood.
yep.
In fact, I think I had it figured out at one point. I can't tell you now exactly when the switch needs to happen, but it's kind of like the machete watching order for Star Wars. There's a way to watch the OG series up to a point and then jump over into Brotherhood. I just forget exactly when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love it. So, what's an anime that makes you go like, "Hear me out, it's good, I swear."
Uh-huh. Ooh, gosh. That's a good question. Hmm. I know a couple of manga that fit that description.
Yeah.
But anime. Oh, I know. Baki.
Oh, yes.
Baki Hamna. Yeah.
Yep.
On or Hanma. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
On Netflix. I'm in it, but it's like a little blink and you'll miss it cameo
Yeah.
as a mad scientist and a few other people. But the show itself, though, is it's really, really weird.
Yep.
It's what people who have never seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure think JoJo's is.
Yes, exactly.
That's a really, really fun show. It is just
Yeah.
wild. It's you
Yeah.
never know where it's going.
No. No, it is
Impossible to predict.
batshit insane and like
It's completely insane.
when I saw the art style for the first time, I'm like, "Ew." Um and like, oh my god, and then I started watching, I was like, "Oh god."
Yeah.
Like,
Yep, yep. It hooks you early, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's grotesquerie, a lot of it, but it's the
Yep.
kind of grotesquerie you just can't look away from.
Yeah, exactly. So, as a movie buff yourself,
Very much.
um, what's a live action movie that you think would make a great anime?
Ooh, good, 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 good question. Let me see. Oh man, I'm trying to think of a really good one. Action or comedy? What would you prefer?
Either or.
Either or.
Yeah.
Okay. I think. Oh, you know what? Something in the same mold as like Death Note.
Okay.
There's a Japanese movie called Cure
Hmm.
that was made by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Not that Kurosawa, a different Kurosawa. And yeah, that I think would be a really unsettling, really interesting anime
Hmm.
adaptation if you guys
Oh,
wanted to take it in that direction. Yeah, because
heck
Cure
yeah.
is it's about a detective who's on the trail of these grisly murders, and he comes
Hmm.
across this young man who has amnesia, and the young man can apparently hypnotize people just by showing them a lighter and talking to them.
Oh,
And it's a very deceptively simple setup, but it is really profoundly disturbing. Without being like, it's not shock value, it's not cheap. It goes for, it's super unnerving on like an elemental primordial level. It's really, really a
yeah.
phenomenal film.
Ooh,
Cure.
that's okay. I'm gonna write that down. Oh my god. So, where did your love for movies start?
Oh, really early childhood, very early childhood. My
Yeah.
dad was a movie buff. My first live action movie that I ever saw was Dracula, the
Oh
Bela
wow.
Lugosi Dracula. Yeah, back from 1931.
Hmm.
But I grew up with the Disney stuff, of course, but also stuff like that and stuff like the Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce Sherlock Holmes series. Those
Okay.
were
Yeah.
formative experiences watching those, and there were so many of them too. They made like 14.
Yeah.
Universal made the first. No, Fox made the first two, and then
Yeah.
Universal made the other 12.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's a wonderful series. Gosh, old comedies, the Abbott and Costello comedies. I love those. I got into those guys though through my love of the Universal monsters because they famously meet Frankenstein in
Right.
one of the best horror comedies of all time. I think
Yep.
holds up pretty darn well.
Hmm.
That one and Gremlins 2. I think Gremlins 2 is also maybe the best horror comedy I've ever seen.
Yes,
Neck
absolutely.
and neck
One
with
hundred
Franken
percent.
with Abbott and Costello. Yeah.
Yep. 100%. Oh my god. I remember the first time I ever heard of Gremlins was my uncle gave me his like old Game Boy, like literally like gray Game Boy, and
Oh
it
my
had
gosh.
Gremlins on it. And I was like, "Oh my god, what is this?" And then my mom's like, "It's a movie." And I was like, "What? I need to see this." And then I like as like a I don't know, 8-year-old child
Mhm.
watched all of them and I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
Gremlins 2. I may have seen that more than any other movie because it was like my go-to sick day movie, and that includes days
Okay.
when I was just pretending to be sick and just staying
Yeah.
home from school.
Yeah.
It was my go-to, and probably my first exposure to one of my very favorite actors, Christopher Lee.
Oh my god, so good.
So darn good. Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
god. Yeah. Yeah, Hook was my sick day movie.
Hook. Oh,
I
Hook's
yeah.
underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it's probably my favorite movie of all time. I the everything Robin Williams, the
Every aspect.
soundtrack
I think it's one of John Williams' best soundtracks. It's so.
straight
Oh my
up.
gosh. And Dustin Hoffman finds a way to make Captain Hook his own. I'll tell you what, I think it's a drag performance. That's
Yeah.
why it works so well. He's kind of
Mhm.
it's through that lens. It's very very interesting. It's more of
Yeah.
a drag performance than Tootsie, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, it's oh my god, yeah, that was my like Adam's feeling sick. Let's put on Hook. I think I went
Your
through
go-to,
like
I love
yeah,
it.
two of those VHSs.
Oh my gosh.
That one in Toy Story, I burnt it through like that. Yeah,
Well
completely.
loved, yeah.
Yeah, straight up. Um,
To love is to be changed, and then just cut to
yeah,
a busted VHS tape.
yeah, exactly, exactly. With the tape all mangled. Uh,
Such a pain to have to try to re-spool those. Oh gosh.
yeah, God,
Yeah.
I know. We
The
did
younger
that.
members of your audience have no idea what we're
Nope.
talking about.
Nope. In school I took radio and we did like one class one single class on this is how they used to do it.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, okay, you're gonna have to record the tape, blah blah blah. And I was like, this is horrible. This is however they used to do it, horrible.
Yep.
Um so monotonous. But yeah, oh my god. So moving on to characters and anime that you voice in, you voice Vice Captain Hoshina in Kaiju number 8.
I do indeed. In fact, I was playing him today.
Hey, heck yeah. What was kind of your reaction to getting cast as him?
Well, I mean, usually I'm casting something and then I do my research. I read
Mhm.
the manga, or if there's a previous anime, I'll watch that. Not with Kaiju number 8. I was actually a fan of the manga. It goes back probably I'd say a year and a half, 2 years before the show was casting.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember reading that and thinking to myself, oh wow, if there's any way to read for Hoshina in particular, I really want this guy.
Yeah.
Because he just felt like a good match.
Mhm.
He's similar in some ways to my character Rampo from Bungo Stray Dogs,
Mhm.
in that he has the kitsune and the closed fox eyes,
Yep.
and definitely somebody that you underestimate at your own peril. The difference is, though, I think Rampo would have figured out who Kaiju number 8 was a lot quicker than Hoshina.
Just a little bit. Just a little
Yes,
bit. Yeah.
whereas Hoshina, though, at least has a little bit more of a exercise regimen than Rampo. He probably eats a little bit better.
Oh, 100%.
Not all sweets all the time. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god. So with like what has been kind of one of your favorite things about voicing Hoshina?
What I really like about, well, gosh, because he's a man of many moods. He contains
Yep.
multitudes.
Mhm.
Um, I like his goofball side. It's I like it when he just loses it when Kafka gets a 0% on his suit reading
Yep.
and just starts guffawing. That is kind of when I truly fell in love with the anime version anyway of him, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're gonna really click. This is gonna be fun. And gosh, on a more serious note, though, I really do like that. I think he sees a bit of himself in Kafka. Kafka's not just a court jester for him. He's his friend, and he wants to help him along on his way. Because I think, like Kafka, Hoshino was early in his career was kind of overlooked and underestimated because of his blade skills. Because the rest of the world has kind of moved on from swordplay, but that's where his skill set is. That's he was a prodigy with those types of weapons. And so I think he kind of sees, where Kafka's coming from, where it's like, oh, this is somebody who thought their dreams had passed them by, but now they're getting a second chance because someone believes in them. And in
Mhm.
both cases, it's Mina, it's Captain Mina.
Yeah. Oh, I just love the series so much. Yeah, it's been fantastic. And yeah, so what has
It's been a
been
gift. It's hard to believe we're already on season 2. Just a year later, we're already in the thick of it. So
yeah, it's insane, and I'm so happy because usually we have to wait like 4 years for it. So so I just give me more.
yes, please, yeah. And
Yeah.
all my favorite stuff for him, and in general, all the
Mhm.
best stuff in the manga is still, is still coming up adaptation wise. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot to look forward to
yeah,
without going into spoilers.
yes, yes. So what are you most excited about for season 2 with Hoshina?
um, I really love his dynamic with Gen,
Hmm.
Captain Gen Narumi, who's played wonderfully by Aaron Dismuke.
Yep.
But we haven't really gotten to see them interact yet on the show, so I
Hmm.
cannot wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they have kind of a friendly rivalry, a frenemy ship, I guess you would call it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I love their dynamic. They're just so ridiculous, and I love it. Um.
and
Also.
he's also kind of he has a duality to him too, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's this badass, all business kaiju slayer, but he's also a gamer and also kind of I don't know. Abigail's doing such a great job of nailing the dynamic between the two of them
Yeah.
with Kikuru and Gen, where it's like, oh, I've met my hero, and my hero drinks gamer fluid. Oh no.
Yeah, I just love it. Last episode, just him begging for money from Tinker.
Yeah.
I
It
was
just
like,
disappeared from my bank account. I don't know where it went.
yeah,
Please
I
help.
don't know where it went. And then
Yeah.
the Amazon packages are in the background. So good.
It's like,
So
really? You have no idea? Okay.
where'd it go? I also love how like such a like because he's like obviously a badass. He's
Oh, yeah.
and but he's also just such a turd. Just being like, what does Mina get talked about and I don't, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my god.
Everything's for the clicks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. So funny. Um and I speaking
I
of
mean, I get
season
it. You
two,
have to be your own hype man nowadays. He's like his
exactly.
entire PR department is just him. Yeah, he's a one-man PR
Exactly.
department.
Exactly. Saves the child being like, you steal your parents' phone and tweet about me. Uh,
Oh my
oh
god!
my god,
And
I
I'm so
love
happy
it.
to be working with Aaron because we've done cons together
Mhm.
for a long time now. And I remember one time a couple of years ago we were doing one, and the MC realized it's like, oh, you guys have been in nothing together. So I'm happy we're finally getting to work together, especially with this dynamic. It's a very fun frenemy ship.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, I love it. So speaking of season 2, Hoshina is hosting pretty much his own podcast at the end
Yeah,
of episodes.
I'm sorry, I
How
don't mean to be encroaching on your territory.
no. I waited. I watched the end of the episode. I was like, "This is
Uh-huh.
incredible." How fun has that been recording those little blips?
Hoshi Night Nippon. That's been so
So
much
good.
fun, especially because oh gosh, right out of the gate it was really awesome
Yeah.
to antagonize Kafka like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what he does best in some ways. So yeah, he was an ideal first guest for sure.
Hmm.
And also, yeah, I gotta say, I like his setup. I think the soundproofing from a voice acting standpoint, it seems like he's done his research. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good to me.
Yeah. I was like, "Damn, those mics are nice. That's perfect."
Those are nice. Those Neumanns, oh my gosh, well done.
Right? I was like, "Damn, boy, okay." Um
That
oh my
Defense
god.
Force budget, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of appropriation they've made to get that money to go into his podcast,
I-
but it's working. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, this I need a whole season of this. Like just full 29-minute episodes of that.
I know there's more chibi content we haven't gotten to dub yet, but I really hope we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
be so much fun.
Oh yeah. And I I love it when some anime have like chibi like um spin-offs and like
Oh yeah,
uh
Bungo Stray Dogs has that.
yeah,
Bungo Stray Dogs
exactly.
1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naruto had that back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like Isekai Quartet, which is all the Isekai protagonists and characters and stuff.
Oh, I heard
Um,
about that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I'm just like, I love how ridiculous this is. Like, even even Demon Slayer has like um school days manga, I think.
That's
And
true. Enmu comes back at one point. That'll be fun. That'll be that'll be a lot.
oh my god, speaking
He's
of
even more of
Demon
a
Slayer,
menace
yeah,
in that
yeah.
in that show.
Oh my god.
In that universe, that AU.
Yeah. Speaking of Demon Slayer, you
Yes.
voice Enmu. There we go.
Yes.
What is kind of the most fun part about voicing a villain?
Oh gosh. I mean, normally they get all the best lines.
Mhm.
I mean, certain heroes are very well written and they're fleshed out and three dimensional.
Yeah.
But villains, though, tend to have more fun. They're there for a good time, not always a long time, but a
Mhm.
good time.
Yeah.
And with Enmu, yeah, it was kind of funny because when I was first cast as him, all I knew about him was that his name was Lower One. I didn't know his name was Enmu. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound terribly important, but I guess I'll have fun with it, for one episode at the very end of season 1.
Yeah.
And then I discovered, oh, wait, no, he's actually going to be the main villain in the movie. He is the
Mhm.
titular Mugen Train.
Yeah.
Spoilers for an old movie. Yeah, that was wonderful. And I don't know, it's just with him, the fun with him was finding that kind of sliver of commonality that I think every actor has to find with their character,
Mhm.
so that it's a character and not a caricature.
Yeah.
Um, And with him, it was difficult because it's like, oh, I can't really identify with wanting to devour 200 people on board a train and then become the train.
Yeah.
That never really was a goal of mine. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
But wanting to impress your boss, who you might also have a crush on, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
relatable.
Oh.
Trying to get a promotion, trying to, increase your station in life. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what all of us are striving for in one way or
Mhm.
another. So I found that little sliver of commonality, and it was enough to carry me through.
Yeah. Oh my god. I love it. So, how has that role kind of changed your life, and like how does it feel to be in one of the biggest anime of like this generation?
It's really a beautiful thing because, yeah, I mean, that movie, we recorded it 4 going on 5 years ago,
Mhm.
and he's been dead, spoilers, for a while now,
Whoa.
but he's had a very eventful afterlife,
Yeah.
in the games and the
Mhm.
hearts and the minds of his small but mighty fan base.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is obviously, one of the most popular anime under the sun.
Yeah.
And but his fans though are a special lot. There's not as many of them, compared to other characters, but the ones who do love him, they really love him, and
Mhm.
they're really sweet to get to meet in person because many of them are great artists themselves. In fact, one of my favorite memories from a con was actually an Enmu cosplayer who came up to me and presented me with a very beautiful framed oil painting they'd made of him. That
Oh
was
my
just, it
god.
was mind blowing. The amount of, I don't know, it just never ceases to amaze us, I think, collectively as voice actors. How so many talented people actually like dig our work. It's like, oh, that's really cool. That makes it mean all the more. Where it's like,
Mhm.
you thought that was good? Okay, cool, awesome.
Oh, I love it. So, how was it seeing like yourself on the big screen as a movie fan?
It was an interesting process because we actually had to record the whole thing from home,
Yeah.
'cause it was during lockdown.
Mhm.
And then we met the deadline. It all worked out. I turned my closet into like a broadcast quality studio,
Heck yeah.
and thanks to the engineers and the sound mixers at Bang Zoom, they helped make it that way. They told me what to do and how to do it. Um, and then eventually, yeah, we met the deadline, and then a couple of months later, it came out. It was actually right when theaters were reopening. It was us and Mortal Kombat.
Yes, yes, I remember that.
And yeah, but I'll never forget though that opening night, going to one of my very favorite childhood theaters, the Cinemark Miriam in Miriam, Kansas. I got to go with my family actually, and I will never forget how magical that evening was because it was only two movies, pretty much playing. Period. We were in every other theater, and primarily the dub that was playing. So I just heard my voice and the voices of my castmates, just coming out of all these theaters at once, and it was just a beautiful, really humbling moment where
Mhm.
it's like, oh my gosh, we're a part of something really special here, and the timing, could not have been better. So it was
Mhm.
something I will always treasure for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I remember because at least here in Canada, stuff didn't start opening up until it was out of theaters. Um so someone was and it wasn't on Crunchyroll yet or any like legal sites. So we watched it through TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
So
Like
like it
part
was
one
like
out of 150 or what?
exactly. Yes, exactly. We put it up on the laptop and just scrolled
Um,
every minute because it was only a minute. You could only do a minute back then. Um, uh, and we're like, this is insane. But yeah,
that's new media. That's new media for you right there. Yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah,
That was the
exactly. Yeah,
how it was meant to be seen, really.
yeah, totally. But yeah, it was. I just it also brought me back to like watching Dragon Ball in like 10 parts on YouTube and like with Spanish subtitles and
Yeah.
yeah. And but yeah, and it was just fantastic story altogether because again, I had never read the manga at all.
Oh, so
Um
it was all new to you, huh?
all new to me. Yeah,
I
I
love it.
was like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen." Yeah, it was so good. So you're also in one of my favorite romance anime of all time, Kimi ni Todoke, as
I'm
Kunta.
so happy to hear you say that. That's
Yeah,
underrated. I feel like I'm
100%, 100%.
I really want that to get more love. Yeah, because we put a lot of love into that show.
Yeah.
What a cast! That
Oh
was
my
such a
god.
pleasure to be a part of.
Yeah, and like Mira is such an interesting character because when he first comes in, I'm like, he's just an asshole. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just an asshole. Um,
It's like, okay, this guy's, yeah. But over the course of the show, though, you realize, oh
mhm,
no, he's a sweetheart. He's a golden retriever, you
yeah.
know. But he just sometimes he sticks his foot in his mouth a lot. Often wrong, but never in doubt. That's how I would
Yeah.
describe him.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So, how did it feel to be part of a dub that fans were wanting for so long?
It was such an interesting experience because, yeah, the original show came out in what, 2012, I think.
I think 2009.
9. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. Wow.
yeah.
That was back when I was. Yeah, I'm going to date myself, but that's when I was in
Mhm.
high school. So yeah,
Yeah,
it
same
was
here.
done for a long while
Yeah.
without a dub. Uh, but no, that was really amazing.
Hmm.
Especially when I figured out, I'm like, oh gosh, this guy who's playing my character in Japanese, he sure sounds familiar. Oh wait, that guy is Tamaki and Oran. He's like he's
Oh
been
my
in so many
god.
great things over the years.
Yeah.
Right now, he's playing Doma in Demon Slayer. I mean,
Oh
the guy
shit.
has
Yeah.
been in everything. It's remarkable. Yeah,
Oh
one of the
my
very
god.
best Seiyu out there.
Hmm.
So that was really cool to get to share a role with him.
Hmm.
It's funny. It happens every once in a while, where you kind of get to share roles with the same Seiyu multiple times. It's happened to me with Daisuke Hirakawa, who plays Enmu. He's also the dub voice for Tom Hiddleston. If you see Tom Hiddleston speaking Japanese, it's not him, it's Daisuke.
Okay.
And with Hiroshi Kamiya, who plays, well, he was the original voice actually for Rohan way before the show. It was one of the JoJo video games, actually. He was the OG voice for Rohan. And then he also plays Rampo and Bungo Stray Dogs. And we also share our new Windbreaker character.
Oh my god.
Yes, Hiroshi also plays him in Japanese. So it's kind of funny when you get paired up with somebody and it continues happening.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's crazy. Oh my.
Yeah.
Um. So you've played quite a few. How do I say it? Shit disturbers.
Yeah,
Um.
it's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How fun is it to get to play these roles?
I love messing things up. It's fun. Yeah, yeah. General menaces. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 They're a lot of fun to play. The brattier, the better. I feel
Yeah.
like. I don't know if you
Oh,
play Fire Emblem, but my favorite Fire Emblem character that I have out of the three is Elm, very bratty bat boy
there you go.
from
Yeah.
Book Six. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you just have like annoying little brother energy, and I love it.
Oh my god.
He's
Speaking.
partially based off actually when I was a kid. I had this
Mhm.
friend who had a younger brother who
Yeah.
was obsessed with Darth Maul and would just go around at recess with his double-sided lightsaber, hitting people on the head and running away. And I'm like, okay, now I finally know where to put that voice. I've always had that impression of that kid, so now I'm just going to
Yeah.
channel it into this Bat Boy.
Oh, I love it. I love that so much.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
fun to play Gremlins for sure.
Oh yeah.
I like to think of myself as like the male version of like what Kaylee Mills does, because she plays a
Yeah.
lot of Gremlins as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, someday it'd be fun to play twin Gremlins with her. That'd be
Oh my
awesome.
god, that would that would be
She
good.
also, gosh, she put together a really cool thing for Kimi no Todoroki.
Hmm.
She actually had us record the theme song in English.
Yes.
It's actually on YouTube right now on her
Hmm.
channel.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that, yeah, you guys should check it out.
Yeah. 100%. I remember when it came out, I was like, "This is so cool." Um. Yeah. Oh my god. And then, like, speaking of romance anime,
Yes.
what are some of your favorite romance anime?
Oh gosh. Out of the things I've been in, or in general.
Either or.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Kimi no Todoroki is right out there for sure.
Hmm.
Slash from me to you, I guess, as Netflix
Hmm.
calls it. And then on the BL side, Cherry Magic, I think is
Oh,
really fantastic. Yeah.
so good.
And I say that I'm one of the one of the I'm part of one of the couples in that show,
Yeah.
but I love the whole story though, and I
Hmm.
especially love Emmy's character
Yep.
because Emmy Lowe's character is kind of like almost like a stand-in for the reader or slash the viewer,
Yeah.
where it's
Yep.
like, yes, now kiss,
Yes.
damn you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to play that self insert
Hmm.
or the viewer insert, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think it kind of happens with another BL that I'm in called Twilight Out of Focus.
Hmm.
Shion, I think in some ways is kind of meant to be like, oh yeah, this is like the reader entering the work.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, he was very fun to play. He's kind of a gremlin himself, a romantic gremlin, a gremlin of
Yeah.
romance. But yes, a very sparkly gremlin.
Yes. Sparkly gremlin of romance. I love that. Yeah, when I first watched Cherry Magic, I was like, this is so good. And like the just the fact that it's office workers and they're
Yeah.
adults, and it is just so nice to have an adult BL um as an anime, and that the fact that it got a dub. Hello?
I'm amazed. Yeah, we
Yeah.
made to keep that secret for a while because we did it and then they waited for a while to release it,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it was like, oh no, it's out, all 12 episodes. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, yeah, because we watched it in sub when it was coming out, and we were
Mhm.
like, we are drooling at this. Come on, we need the dub. We need it.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
need
what I
it
really
now.
hope happens for. I mean, it's BL, but it's kind of horror BL. The summer Hikaru died.
Yes,
That needs a
yes,
dub
one hundred
at some
percent.
point. That has to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. But yeah, when we were watching, we're like, we can't wait. And then just again, like you said, one day they were just like,
Yeah.
it's out, and we're like,
It's out. It's ready. Oh, the first episode? No, all the
no,
episodes.
all of
It's
it.
ready.
Yeah.
It's ready for you.
But yeah, and I just think it's so important for
Mhm.
just having an adult queer story, um, and yeah, and it was so touching and lovely and hilarious. Like, oh my god, so
Well,
good.
Oscar Sung, who plays my significant other in the two
Yeah.
shows now, we're kind of
Hmm.
the Spencer Tracy and Captain Hepburn, I guess, in BL. Yeah, I love working with him, and he's just his deadpan delivery is just he's so fantastic. He's so damn funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you had him on yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Ooh, he'd be a
Maybe.
good get. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of shitheads and romance,
Yes, yeah.
you also voice Ita or Ieta in My Love Story with Yamada-kun.
Oh, my
Uh
bunny boy. Yes, my sweet
and
bunny
yep.
boy.
um how is it playing, cuz he is a shit disturber, but he's also a really nice guy. How do you like
Yeah.
toe to the line for that?
Yeah, you wonder early on. It's like, oh, is he going to end up being kind of more of a antagonist? But
Yeah.
no, his intentions are pure.
Yeah.
He's really, if you're somebody who's looking into if you're someone who wants to get into gaming, he's the ideal person to kind of hold your hand, into over the threshold into that world.
Yeah.
He's the very best, I think, of what a gamer can be and should be. But he also likes to mess with people a little bit too. He has his
Yeah.
moments. And the biggest, messing with somebody comes from the idea that, oh, usually, yeah, his avatar doesn't look like him. It looks like a little bunny,
Yeah.
a little bunny girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that within itself, it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know where that was going. All right.
Mhm.
I do not voice said bunny girl, sadly. That's Lily, yeah, Lily Pichu, I
Yep.
believe, plays her.
Yeah. I was like, come on, voice the I need both. Yeah.
That would have been a challenge. That would have been
Yeah.
a real challenge for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would have been more helium. I would have, if I had done it, yeah, it would have sounded more like if the bunny had huffed a lot of helium.
Yeah. Oh my god. So you're also in Jujutsu Kaisen
I am, yeah.
as oh my goodness, Kamo. I'll just call him that.
Bow and arrow guy.
Bow
Yeah.
and arrow guy. Yeah. How did you think, or how did you feel when Jujutsu Kaisen kind of just like blew up? Because it just kind of
Yeah.
exploded.
Yeah, I really didn't really know what to think of it at first. I was like, oh, this kind of seems like a Bleach-esque, what's the English translation for the title? Sorcery fight?
Yeah, sorcery fight.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't do that. It would
Yeah.
not have taken off like it did, I think, if it was called
Yeah,
sorcery
just a little bit. Yeah.
no matter how good it was.
Yeah.
Sorcery fight. Oh, no. But no, I really didn't really know. I was autocast for both of my roles, both Kamo and Esso, who's the
Mhm.
big guy. they fight at the end of season 1, the big
Yes.
Chippendale dancer looking guy.
Yes.
With the purple eyes and the mohawk and the little bow tie.
Yeah.
Although sadly he was censored though, because in the manga he has a thong.
Oh.
Yeah, we missed out sadly. In the
Damn
anime
it.
he just has very tight leather pants, but oh well.
Ugh.
C'est la vie. But Kamo, yeah, I did some cursory research, and I'm like, oh, this is a guy who has a big chip on his shoulder because he's the head of his family, but he only got there because the powers manifested in him.
Yeah.
If that hadn't happened, he would have been an outcast like his mother because he is illegitimate, and in a family that prizes blood over everything else. That's a tough road to hoe for him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait though. Without going into spoilers, I cannot wait for the culling game arc in season 3. Kamo has a lot to do there. He and Maki go on quite the journey together.
Yes. Yeah, that I cannot wait. When I read the manga, I was like, because when I started the anime, I had no idea what it was again. So I was like, oh, this is really good. And I started to hate him so much because I was like, you little bitch. Like, don't you
That's the
dare.
reaction I'm going for most of my characters.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, this guy, goddamn. And then I started reading further and I was like, oh, damn it. Oh, he's okay. He's good. He's good.
He has the opposite of main character syndrome. I'll say that without going into spoilers.
Yeah.
It's common sense, which is not so common.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Kamo sense, we call it.
Yeah,
yes.
There you go. Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Steve Yurko.
And I'm Tara Sands. Now available from Maji Media is our new podcast, 4Kids Flashback. 4Kids is the company who brought you the English dub of Pokemon in the late 90s and so many other shows like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Shaman King, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kirby, the infamous One Piece dub, and so many more.
We'll be talking to the people who worked at 4Kids. Actors, directors, writers, editors, producers, engineers, you get the point. And hopefully get the answers to questions both you and I have about the company.
I actually worked there as a voice actor on some of the shows.
And I was a kid watching the shows and remember way more than Tara does.
And thank God for that. Steve is actually a professional storyboard artist, which gives some really unique insights into anime and animation. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. That's the number 4 Kids Flashback.
Hey guys, welcome to the Patreon portion of today's episode. And if you want to join the Patreon, there are a few different tiers, like shoutouts on the episodes, as well as exclusive videos and behind-the-scenes content, and so much more, and even the episode a day early. Thank you to Gio, Keith, Blythe, Bunny, Mikey, Sheba, and Brooke. And if you want to join the Patreon or find out more, the link will be down below. And yeah, back to the episode. So, how did you originally get into acting in general?
Let's see. I actually I used to make my own movies growing up, starting from when I was about 4 or 5. My first movie was called Godzilla vs. Everyone, and it was my Godzilla action figure going up against all my other action figures, including a giant Hydra that I made out of Mega Blocks.
Oh hell yeah!
And I was in that, doing all the voices, of course, but also playing ace reporter Steve Martin, who was out in the field reporting on the whole thing, which has precedence. In that first Godzilla movie, in the American version anyway, there's a guy running around reporting on everything, played by Raymond Burr, who, is ace reporter Steve Martin.
Yeah.
No relation to the silver-haired comedian. So that's kind of where it started. And then as I got older, I always loved the idea of voice acting. I saw the episode of Inside the Actor Studio where they were interviewing the cast of The Simpsons. And I remember my mind was blown wide open because I figured it was going to be like a whole town of voice actors, because Springfield's a big place.
Yeah.
Wrong. It was just 5 or 6 people, but they could all do dozens of different voices, and that just blew my mind as a kid. Or the opening of Mrs. Doubtfire, where Robin Williams is not only voice acting, he's doing specifically dub work.
Yeah.
He's dubbing that bird in the cage, and he gets upset when the bird starts smoking. But it's kind of funny. So I always had an appreciation for the craft, but I'm like, I bet the same 30 people roughly do all that. So there's probably no way in. So I actually, by the time I was going to grad school for PR and marketing at USC out in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had a whole different life lined up for myself.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I found out that Richard Horvitz, the guy who plays Invader Zim and Billy from Billy and Mandy, he was doing a workshop, an acting workshop in Burbank
Mm-hmm.
on Tuesday nights. And I happened to have Tuesday nights free. And I was like, oh, that might be fun. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
My original intention was to go because I thought it would help my writing, frankly, if I knew what actors were up against. Because
Yeah.
I've always been kind of a hobbyist screenwriter.
Okay.
And so I thought it'd be good to get something from the acting standpoint, from their perspective, and that would help my writing to get better.
Mm-hmm.
But no. About a half an hour in to that first class, I was like, I want to do this. If there's a way to do this full time, I really, really want to make it work. And I got really lucky because in many ways, but especially because Richard was and is a genius at what he does and a great teacher. But
Mhm.
also, though, that class was just lousy with future budding anime stars. Erica Mendez was in that class.
Oh my
Laura
God.
Post was in that class.
Yeah.
Erica Harlicker. And they all told me the same thing. They're like, you're pretty good. There's a place called Bang Zoom down the road. Why don't you go take classes down there from a guy named Tony Oliver, and you might be able to get into some of these dubs. And so I did. Took a bunch of classes from Tony and from Dora Fine and from other folks. And then in the summer of 2015, I did an open audition at AX. Bang Zoom had these open auditions. They still do them sometimes.
Mhm.
And I was the male winner for that year. And that's actually how I got my first professional credit. I was in
Wow.
a very sad show called Your Lie in April.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's the anime that got me back into anime pretty much.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. Straight up. Like my.
It's amazing. Kind of a rough watch, but it's a good one.
Yeah. Did not know anything. Because again, I had like dropped anime for a little bit.
Mhm.
And my roommate at the time was like, oh, you want to start watching anime again? I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, here's Your Lie in April. And I was like, do you hate me?
You gotta tell me, man. Come on.
Yeah. Like, do you have something to tell me? Because why did you start me off with this? Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was a couple of bit characters. I
Mhm.
was one of the judges at one of the contests. I was a talking cat in Max Middleman's Dream, and I played a bunch of kids singing a song about the lovely lakes of Switzerland. That's what I can remember.
I love it. Oh my God. Yeah, I love
And then, yeah, I
that.
kind of went from there.
Mhm.
Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man, those were early projects for me. And then really my first character of note was in a show called Hero Mask.
Okay,
I
yeah.
played Eddie Chandler in that.
Mhm.
He's pretty much, Greg Chun is pretty much playing James Bond, and I'm pretty much playing his Q. He looks like the current Q actor, Ben Whishaw, just
Oh,
with
there you
green
go.
hair. I'm like, you guys ain't slick. I know what you're doing.
Oh my God, I love that. So, out of all the characters you voice,
Yes.
which one do you relate to the most?
Ooh, gosh. I would say in some ways, I love Rampo. He's one of my very favorite. I actually grew up, like I said, with the Sherlock Holmes stories and those movies, and so it was really fun to get to put my imprint on an eccentric detective type.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love Rampo. He's always going to be one of my favorites. The Vice Captain's up there too, because I also know what it's like to be overlooked and underestimated in the early part of one's career. And then I would say, frankly, Shion in Twilight Out of Focus, because in high school I was closeted. I had a good time in high school, but it was a different time though, for sure. And thankfully times have changed. And seeing a character like Shion who owns who he is and is very, very upfront about what he wants, very much so.
Yep.
And that was really lovely to play. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of like a do-over for me, I guess, in some ways, where it's like, okay, this is pretty fun. The trade-off, though, was that he doesn't really care about movies. And that was one of the biggest acting challenges I've ever had in my life. I'm like, he doesn't care. Okay. I'm in the film school BL, and I played the guy that doesn't care about movies. Okay. All right. I'll give it a shot.
Oh, I love it. Oh my god. Yeah. So what has been kind of the biggest lesson you've learned since becoming a voice actor?
Ooh. I would say that this career only makes sense in retrospect. There is a path that is laid out for you that you don't even know you're following until you look back and there it was the whole time. Do you remember Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
Yeah.
The one with Sean Connery?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know how the leap of faith, it's when Indy at one point has to walk into what looks like an open chasm. He thinks he's going to fall to his death. But no, there's a path there. It's an invisible path.
Yeah.
And you can only see it when you look behind you. That's what this career is. We build this career on high hopes and thin air. That's what this is. That's how we get anywhere in this business. Is a mixture of, I would say, patience and persistence. And it's a tough balance to strike, but that's what it takes. And frankly, part of it also is just sticking around, just or believing that it's going to work. Even if you're not handed the world on a silver platter from the beginning, you just have to stick around, and sooner or later, the Scottish have a saying, what's for you won't go by you. And I've really come to really believe in that. The roles, the characters, the stories that are meant for you will seek you out. You still have to rise to the occasion when they arrive, but what's meant to be will be.
Oh, I love that. So how has your relationship with anime changed since from a fan to now being in anime?
It's kind of funny on the con scene anyway. I used to do event coverage for Variety.
Okay.
I was trying to make ends meet in LA
Yeah.
in those early years.
Yeah.
And I, of course, went to a lot of cons when I was a kid. And now I guest at them quite a bit. I'm doing 30 plus this year, I think. It's a whirlwind. It's good to be busy, but oh man, that's a lot of travel. But I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, oh, I've really experienced, other than being a vendor, I've experienced almost every facet of the con scene anyway. And with anime, it's kind of like in the same vein. I still really love it. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. But I find I don't watch it for pleasure as much as I used to, because it does feel like going to work.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm watching a dub, because then suddenly I'm cheering on my friends, or I'm noticing too many voices or something, and it can kind of take you out of things. So whenever someone admits to me, it's like, oh, I'm a sub only guy, or I'm a sub fan. I'm like, that's okay. That's how we watch it, for research and personal preference. It's however you find this stuff. We're just happy you're actually seeking it out. Hopefully through a legal, not illegal, option. Yes.
Yeah. 100%. I'm kind of the same way. Where I'm now in it, in this whole community. So now I'm like, oh, there's this person. Oh, there's this person. Oh, there's and it's I still love it. I still watch 9 to 10 anime a week. But there are some times where I'm like, God damn, there's too many of you are in too many things.
You're damn prolific. That's the problem.
Yeah. Just stop being in things. Just give me a break for
5 minutes.
Yeah, for 5 minutes. Can someone not be cast in something?
But then what would we be thrilled about, or excited about, or proud about?
Exactly.
Or all of the usual descriptors.
Yeah.
I thought about that the other day. I'm like, am I saying excited too much? Am I saying the word excited too much? Are people going to not believe that I'm excited? I am excited, I promise.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can only write congrats on Twitter so much.
There's only so much I can do.
Yeah. Oh my God. So what's a moment in your career that you've had, whether it be at a con or in the booth or just in general, that made you go, I'm in the right field. I'm doing something right here.
I got to be in a show called Requiem of the Rose King.
Okay.
It was a Shakespeare adaptation, actually. And it was the first time I ever worked with Sean Gann, who is now the director of Kaiju No. 8 and Buddy Daddies and a lot of the shows that I've been blessed to work on in the last few years. But that was the first time, though, I ever really got to work with him. And I was playing King Henry VI opposite Kieran Strange's Richard III. and it was kind of a mishmash of a couple of different Shakespeare stories and also a BL story, and it was really a moving experience. Sean works in a very particular way. He likes us to keep things very natural. He likes us to chase things. We don't go line by line. We pretty much, tackle a scene head on and go as far as we can before we stumble. And he's there supporting us every step of the way with very clear, very concise direction and a wonderful sense of humor too. You've had him on your show, right? So you know.
Oh
how
yeah.
funny he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that I remember after my first session with him, I'm like, oh wow, this is a guy who really cares deeply about this stuff. Not just the AAA, stuff that is going to do well at cons, but everything everything that gets to, everything he gets to put his mark on. He gives them all the same amount of love and attention, and every time he's working on something, to him it's the most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to see from a director. And that's something where I was like, okay, I want more of that. And that's actually why I made the decision, frankly, to seek out more Texas work.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I want to work with Sean as much as I can because he's one of the real ones. He gets it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I love that man so much.
He's easy to love. He's very easy.
Yeah. Just a little bit. So, you've been in so much anime. What is a dream genre that you want to be a part of?
Oh gosh, I would love to do more shoujo in general. There's just not enough of it out there. That's the problem. Between shonen and shoujo, it's kind of shonen has their thumb on the scale a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely more of those types of shows, slice of life, romance stuff. On the other hand, though, I love horror. Horror is my favorite genre, so I would love to see more of that. I mentioned the summer Hikaru died. That's definitely something that I hope gets a dub eventually. And I think that it's such a great story, though, because it really does. It's a story of, it's your first love, your first queer love.
Yeah.
And so it really nails those aspects, while at the same time, it's like Cronenberg-style body horror. It has, I don't know, there's a sense of history and atmosphere and lineage to the whole thing that's very interesting. Where it's like, their dads may have had something going on too. So it's like, oh, wow, this has been going on for a while in one shape or form. But yeah, there's just a lot there to unpack that's fascinating. So I'd love to do more horror stuff as well. What else? Gosh. Sci-fi doesn't get brought up as much nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Dandadan is to some extent sci-fi or sci-fi adjacent, but there's not enough of it. Yeah, there's a lot of fantasy, but not quite enough sci-fi. So it'd be fun to see more science fiction angles. That'd be very cool.
Heck yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite parts about the summer Hikaru died, especially the manga, is where you'll have this like kind of sweet, serene moment, and then it's just the next page is just this gory body horror. And I'm like, I love this. And like, just the art. Oh my God. The art is chef's kiss. So good.
It is phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, it is incredible. And I also,
it's called generational, I believe.
Yes, exactly. And I also love that it's a BL, and putting the two together. Hell yeah.
Chocolate and peanut butter. Yeah.
Exactly.
Two great taste great together. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of manga, it's come up a bit. How did you get into reading manga?
Oh, I'm trying to remember my first one. It may have been around the time I got into Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, I know what. No, now I know for sure. No, it was the OG Full Metal Alchemist I was watching just as the anime.
Yeah.
And then I heard that it kind of went off and did its own thing to mixed results, I thought.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to go back and actually, as by the time I was watching it, the manga was finished. And so I'm like, oh, let's see. It was before Brotherhood, but it was when the manga was already finished, or at least wrapping up. Yeah. And that's when I dove into that. So I think that was really my first real exposure to manga in terms of not just reading a few chapters, at a Barnes & Noble, but actually like consuming the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. So is there any like kind of, when you're picking a manga to pick up, what are some of the kind of things it has to hit for you to actually pick it up and start it?
I'm a cheap date when it comes to anything in the Victorian era, especially because I love the Japanese,
Yeah.
that cultural sensibility as it tackles, other foreign cultures, especially Victorian England.
Yeah.
Because it seems like I don't know. It's when I was first cast as Rampo, I
Mhm.
did research on the real Rampo, and he wrote his own stories, mostly horror actually. There's one
Okay.
in particular called The Human Chair that is great to read around spooky season.
Ooh.
But he's also notable though because he was the one who translated Sherlock Holmes into Japanese for the first time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so of course there's been this they over the years there have been so many reinterpretations of the Holmes mythos in different Japanese media, and that to me is just really really interesting.
Mhm.
When you're seeing something filtered through a different cultural lens, that can
Yeah.
always that really always that's an easy way to my heart and to my always draws the eye for me. Something that is dipped in that Victorian England Sherlockian intrigue. If
Mhm.
something is about that, I will almost certainly read it.
Yeah.
Whether it's what's happening right now with the Lord of Mysteries or Lord of the Mysteries,
Mhm.
or a few years ago there was Moriarty the Patriot,
Yep.
which I was fortunate enough to work in for a little bit, especially in the OVAs. Probably my favorite Aaron Disney performance actually is the lead in that.
Okay.
He's fantastic, wonderful stuff. For your listeners, your viewers, if they haven't watched that show, I would heartily recommend it.
Okay. It is on my list. So,
It's a
um,
good.
yeah. Um, yeah. I've just started getting into more like it's got to have a mystery aspect to it,
Mhm.
or it doesn't hook me as much. Um, so my partner was like, "Okay, we're gonna watch this anime. It's a romance anime." I was like, "Sick, awesome." And we started watching it, and I was like, there's twists and turns, and it's called Why Rayliana Ended Up in the Duke's Mansion.
Oh, that became an anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it is fantastic. I was like, oh, it's just another romance, right? I'm just like, it's just another, of that time romance. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, no, there's a mystery. Why is he the way he is? Why is she the way she is? Why is she there? And I'm like, I love that. Love
I'm
it.
down. Yeah.
Yep, I'm down. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
Well,
I should clarify though.
yeah.
Lord of the Mysteries is not Japanese. That's actually Chinese in
Okay.
origin.
Okay.
But still, though, to see that Sherlockian
Mhm.
mythos filtered through different cultures is a very interesting thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just I thought
No,
of that. I'm like,
no.
wait, no, I should clarify.
No, 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 that's good. Speak of Rompo,
Yes,
how was it like jumping into that role um as a fan of Sherlock Holmes?
it was really cool because I don't know. He kind of looks like, from a design standpoint, anyway. It's like if Sherlock Holmes was, starring in a revival of Newsies.
Yeah.
He's a
Yes,
newspaper boy, but
exactly.
also Sherlock Holmes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that was really fun to tackle.
Mhm.
I especially love the dynamic between Rampo and Poe on that show. Edgar Allan Poe, who in this version is kind of like a uh, brilliant but very very neurotic and needy kind of fanboy for Rampo
Yep.
almost, which is very very interesting because in real life, the real Rampo was actually much more of a fan of Poe. He actually was the one who also translated all of Poe's work into
Okay.
Japanese for the first time.
Oh wow.
So their whole dynamic is kind of inverted in the show.
Mhm.
And actually, even Rampo's name, Edogawa Rampo, if you say that accented, it actually sounds like Edgar Allan Poe. That wasn't his real name. It was a joke. It was kind of an
Okay.
inside joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my god.
But it's pretty. Yeah. That's so. There's some real history there.
Mhm.
And also, frankly, with Rampo, it's really been a lot of fun in the last. Gosh, how long has it been? 6 years, almost
Yeah.
7 years now. Jeez. We've got five seasons, a movie, and a chibi spinoff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
I really love the world of that show. I've
Mhm.
made so many friends from that cast. Nick Roy and I, he plays Chuya. We've
Mhm.
done so many cons together. It's crazy. The first time we ever met each other, actually, though, in real life, was we met each other on the set of Hobbiton in New Zealand. We were
Oh
there for
wow.
a con, and we just happened to be taking the same tour. And it's like, wait a minute, I know that voice. Is that you?
That's crazy.
Oh,
Oh my
right. We're at the
God.
same con. Okay, that makes sense.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But no, I really love Rampo as a character, and I'm really happy that in season 4 we got to tackle his origin story,
Yeah.
which I wasn't sure if we would because it's a light novel, not part of the official manga.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really happy we did because I think that Jameson Price is one of my very favorite dub actors. I think he's fantastic, and he plays Rampo's father figure, Fukuzawa.
Yeah.
And I think his work in season 4 of that show is maybe my favorite individual performance of his.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real treat to get to work with him in that capacity. And it made my job very easy because he was almost always recording before me, so he was in there already. So I always had him to play off of.
Yeah.
And there's that scene where Rampo has his very emotional breakdown in the warehouse because Fukuzawa was angry with him for kind of going off half-cocked and being reckless with his powers, or with his deductive capabilities. And he slaps him across the face, and Rampo breaks down crying, and he breaks down in his arms and says, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," over and over again. And I'm really proud of that scene. But I got to tell you, though, Jameson Price is so good at what he does. There was hardly any acting required from me because the second I heard that great, beautiful, deep voice of his break when he says there is a gun pointed right at your face, I just started sobbing. I'm like, oh my God, it just broke my heart, dude. You are fantastic at this.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's been so good for so long, it's easy to take him for granted, but no, he is one of the very best in our business.
Mm-hmm.
Love that guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I think I love the world of Bungo Stray Dogs as well. As someone who just recently picked it up, I have loved it. It's just so good, and the the way they use their powers, everything, the whole idea of the entire world. I'm just like, God damn, this is so well thought out. Like,
oh yeah, and how all their abilities are tied into an actual real work, of the authors. That's very cool.
Yeah, like straight.
Except for Rampo, he just has a very keen deductive mind. He thinks it's a superpower.
Yeah,
it's not. Don't tell him.
No,
don't tell him that.
No, don't tell him that.
Well, I think he might kind of know. I don't know how canon the movie is, Dead Apple, but he does admit it to himself at one point. He's like, "Yeah, I know I don't have powers, but
yeah." But yeah, it's every actor does such a great job with every single character, and I'm like, I care about every single character. It's crazy. There's very few that have had me, care about everyone, because it's a huge cast. Like,
it is. There aren't that many shows that can say that you can actually say that about.
Yeah. It's insane. I'm like, damn, it's just so good. But yeah, thank you guys, or thank you so much for coming on.
Well, my pleasure. No, this has been so much fun.
Of course. So
trip down memory lane.
Yeah. Where can the lovely people find you?
Oh gosh, well, on social media, you can find me on Twitter. It's always Twitter. We don't call it anything else.
Nope.
At McMovieman, McMovieman. On Instagram, it's my name, Landon McDonald, then 57. I'm on Blue Sky as well. And now, I guess I'm no longer just a lurker. I'm actually on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
They finally dragged me over to TikTok. Let me see. And then right now this season, you can catch me, in Kaiju No. 8, season 2. That's ongoing. There's a show I'm on right now called The Earthbound Mole, where I get to play a very burnt out college professor who moonlights as an exorcist. That's pretty fun.
Hell yeah.
Ben Stagmeyer, who plays Iharu in Kaiju No. 8, he's my son in this show. It's kind of a fun dynamic. I don't play a lot of dads, other than Buddy Daddies. That was the one time I really played a father until now. So that'll be fun. What else? Oh yeah, Rent a Girlfriend is back.
Oh yeah, let's
the
go.
Show that always comes back. Yeah.
Yep. Oh my God.
You can't keep that one down. Yeah,
of course
it
not.
Always returns in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And what else do I have coming up? And Enmu, speaking of things you can't kill, he comes back in the Hinokami Chronicles 2, new Demon Slayer video game that is out right now as of 2 days ago.
Heck yeah. All right. All of the links will be down the description. And you can follow me at Corky Cosplays on Instagram, Adam Corky everywhere else. Subscribe to the Patreon. You get exclusive videos as well as behind the scenes content and an episode a day early. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.